Exactly. Hey, cut this part out. All right, ready to go.
Hey, we're ready to go, man. So this is not a podcast. Hey, this is not a podcast. We have Dubs General, David Womble Jr. We got him here.
Yeah, man.
Controversy.
Yeah.
The controversy, man. But hey, before we start, so just want to make sure that everybody that's going to view this, so in cooperation with Double Days Podcast and also Shot by David Michael, we are in no way on either side of anything that you're going to talk about, any issues or what you're going to talk about today.
I'm by myself.
You're by yourself. All we're doing is just shooting you and asking the questions. But hey, man, thanks a lot for again. You reached out to us because
for sure.
We want to kind of get down to the nitty gritty, man. We just want to know what the hell happened at the mothership in Austin, man.
So let's start before the mothership because something happened before the mothership that ended up triggering the mothership stuff to happen. The Creek and the Cave. I went to the club, and the bartender came up to me and said, unfortunately, you've been banned. And I was like, okay, all right, well, thank y'all, have a good night. And I left. And then like a couple of, maybe 10 minutes later, Rebecca called me, and she's one of the owners of the club. And just the tone in which she called me was like she was trying to talk to a child. And I don't respond well to individuals that try to talk down to you, especially we're like the same age. We got the same, we're in the same age bracket. Like respect me.
She's being what does it call it? Authoritative.
Trying to be.
Yeah.
But you can't be an authoritative to someone that doesn't value your authoritism.
Yeah, we hear you, man. So what
she ended up doing was saying like, what do you have to say for yourself? And I thought to myself, why is a grown woman asking a grown man, what do you have to say for yourself? I think what she wanted was for me to be like, please don't ban me. Please, allow me to stay in the club. And that wasn't how I was going to respond. My response was, you made a decision, and I stand by the decision that you make. And if you don't want me at the club, then I won't be at the club. But I don't think I was wondering, why would you ban someone and then call them afterwards? Like if you ban them, just ban them.
Do you think that she wanted to talk about why you were like maybe she wanted to explain herself to you or?
No, I think she wanted me to beg. And I'm not begging. That's literally what I thought it was. Like she's banned other comedians before and then contacted them and then had like a conversation with them, but I don't have to explain myself to you.
Okay. So basically you're banned from this club. And now, have you ever done any stand-up at this particular club in the past?
That's a great question. So Litty Titty Tuesday is a show ran by Allison. She booked me for the Litty Titty show. I've done a couple of mics, maybe 2 or 3 in the 3 years that I've lived here. And then that's it. So I've probably done maybe 1 show and 2 shows and maybe 3 mics in the 3 years. So I don't really get a lot of work there.
Yeah, a lot of work. Okay.
Yeah.
And so that happened. And then?
So after she basically was like, do you know that I can make a call and all the clubs in Austin will not book you? And I was like, I didn't enjoy her saying that. And my response was more so like, you have to do what you have to do. And if that's what you're going to do, I can't stop it.
Right.
Right. And being that I'm not always downtown or performing in Austin, I really don't care that they banned me from it because I wasn't working down there anyway. My focus was San Antonio, Houston, and Dallas. But they're trying to trickle their evilness to those cities too.
Really? So I don't want to get off the subject here, but
then the mothership.
Not the mothership, but just kind of going on this right here. Have you ever been banned in any other city?
That's a fucking great question. Yes.
Okay.
So in Florida, there's a club called Side Splitters. Side Splitters is a B-list club, and I threw shows with them. The first show we sold like 80 tickets, not being a nobody. And then I brought David Lucas out and we sold out. And then I brought David Lucas again and we sold out. And when we sold out, the first time I sold out, I got paid for the production, and then I got paid as a comedian on the show. The last show we did that I no longer started working with them no more is they only paid me $50. And I said, what's the difference between the last time we sold out and this time we sold out? And his response, which is the owner of Side Splitters, was like, sometimes this is the way the business goes. And I went online the next day and started talking to OG comics and asked them what would they do if this were to happen to them. And he called me and did a cease and desist and said, stop bad-mouthing our club. And I haven't stopped bad-mouthing their club since. So fuck Side Splitters.
Yeah. What about down here in San Antonio? Have you ever had any issues with...
So LOL doesn't like me here in San Antonio, and I think it's because I call them out on their bullshit too. LOL used to be independent. Now they're under the chain, and I don't want to disrespect the chain because I want to work with the chain. Right. But before the chain, they had certain ways of doing things that were more fair than they do now, right? So here's an example. When you would do the open mic, they would have a deck of cards. Every comedian would pull a card out of the deck, and based on the suit is where you win in the order. So if you got an ace of spade, you go first. You get a two of diamonds, you might not get up there because you're so far down.
Okay.
Now they write a list and they take the list to the back, and half of the people are already picked. But people don't say it because they're afraid, because they want to be able to be on the open mic. So when I saw that, I said something about it, and they were like, shut the fuck up. Why are you telling what we're doing? And I'm like, because if people knew that you already picked 7 or 8 people, we wouldn't come to the open mic because the odds are slimmer. Now it's only 3 spots or 4 spots. And I'm driving from another state or another city to come do the mic. And you telling me that there's 14 slots, but there's only really 5.
Oh, okay. So they're kind of maybe regulars or
they play
buddies
they play
favorites.
They play favorites for the people that, and I don't know what it is. Maybe they've been there for a long period of time. They've worked there before, but for me, I look at it like open mic should be for everybody, and it should be a fair playing field, especially when it comes to like wanting to push new talent.
Okay.
Like, you want to be able to see new talent, but if you are continuously working with the same people, it's kind of hard for you to get new talent in there. But people won't say that about LOL because they want to work there.
So have you worked there?
I found a way to work there, but I found a way to go around it, and I think that's part of the reason why they don't like me. I would contact the headliners. Like, I'm not finna, like, I would go to the open mics. So I live 2 hours, like an hour and a half away. So I would drive an hour and a half with hosts to be on the open mics, and I wouldn't make it. So I'd be like, let me just keep trying. So for a year of me keep trying, I never got it. So I would just call the headliner and say, hey, I see you're in LOL. Could I feature? Could I host? Could I do a guest spot? And they would say yes. And then I would come in and I would do well, but that's me going over.
Oh, okay. I see what you're saying.
The management. They're well, we have our people we're picking.
So the headliner would probably do some kind of deal with them saying, hey, well, I got Dubs. He's my guy. I want him to be, maybe
a part of the show. Whether it's just a feature, whether it's a host, whether even it's just a guest spot. But they don't like you going over them. They, again, stand in line and wait for us to pick you versus you trying to find different ways to not skip the line, but not have to go through the pick me era. I don't want to sit around and hope that, because you're friends with me, that you're going to put me on. Put me on because I'm good. Put me on because I'm a hustler. Put me on because you see ambition or you see something in me, not the fact that I'm friends with X, Y, and Z.
Okay. So now let's go fast forward over to Mothership issue, right? So you had your run-in with the, what was
Creek,
her name?
Creek in the Cave.
Creek in the Cave.
Yeah.
And now...
So it trickles over. It really does. Like, they're in cahoots with each other as much as they say they. Word on the street, they don't like each other. That's word on the street. But they're not going to say it publicly because they work. Whoever works at the Mothership comes over to Creek, and sometimes vice versa. But when it came to the Mothership, I was trying to be clever. I was like, Tony likes wrestling. Right? And I've always rooted for the bad guy. In Joker, in Batman, in Spider-Man, I always like the villain because you never hear the backstory of the villain. You only know that they're bad.
Right.
Now these movies are starting to go back and showing you the backstory of a Joker, why he became what he was. And now you're not necessarily more empathetic, but you understand why they went the villain route. So I was like, oh shit, he loves wrestling. I could be the villain to kill Tony. Oh shit. I was like, this is going to be genius. He's going to love it. I'm going to be a part of the show.
Right.
And then when I did the video, people were like, you're a fucking hater. You suck. And I was like, I'm trying to be creative. And you guys are shitting on me being creative? But then when they were like, you're a hack. And I was like, well, if I'm a hack, then I'm going to show you I'm a hack. I'm going to go balls to the wall.
Right.
And then it's just this notion of wanting to be accepted by a group of people and then not being accepted by that group of people and then having your self-esteem be tainted or your self-esteem to be diminished because you're not accepted by a group of people that you admire or you see that you would like to be a part of. But I've always dealt with that. Like when I was in the military or even being a military kid, I traveled around a lot. And when I would go to a new school, I would be the funny guy to try to get friends. I did the same thing when I come into comedy. Funny guy, but then you have groups of people that deal with adversity different, right? You have some people that are like, oh, he's a go-getter. I want him on my team. Or you have people saying, well, he's a fucking threat. Yeah. He's a threat. And the reason why he's a threat is he's confident. He's able to put shows together. He doesn't need the validation of the clubs.
All right.
He's a problem because he has his own thinking, his own way of doing things.
Yeah.
And that I can see how that could be a threat to your community. And the reason why I say that is if you have someone that comes in, right, and they're used to saying, we can make this person not feel confident in himself. We can make this person regret getting into comedy, and we can kick them out of comedy so we can kick all the opportunities. If everyone that they do that to just quits comedy, then that shows them that they have the power. Right?
Yep.
So for me, if I'm banned from the Mothership, I'm banned from Creek, I'm banned from Black Rabbit, I'm banned from X, Y, and Z club, and I'm still able to move forward, do we really give a fuck about those clubs? But if I am not able to move forward in comedy, then that proves that they have the power to shut a motherfucker down. And is that a problem in itself?
Yeah.
That they can stop someone from doing comedy because they don't like what the fuck you said.
They could potentially, right? They could potentially be.
They ain't doing it to me, baby.
Yeah, they could potentially be basically banning the next Richard Pryor, the next Rodney Dangerfield, the next, so forth and so on, right?
Well, what makes me positive that my career is going to be fine? George Lopez was never accepted by Mitzi Shore at the Comedy Store. She didn't like him. He became to be the biggest Latino comedian in the world.
Yeah.
She didn't like Jerry Seinfeld. Millionaire. You don't have to go through their door to get where you want to go. But because we are so fascinated by the amount of money they make off of Kill Tony or the money that is put in, through Joe Rogan, that's the only avenue for comedians to get to that next level. Yeah. They don't even have a pigeonhole on black comedy.
So, Dubs, do you think that your unorthodox way of your craft, that people are just having a hard time with that? Meaning it's not the norm. It's something totally different that they've never seen. And so it's like anything, right? Well, it's out of the norm. I don't know about it. I don't want to deal with it, right?
For sure.
Do you feel that way?
100%. I think that we as humans are we deal with patterns, right? Every morning you go to work, you probably stop at the same gas station. You probably get your coffee. You probably go to your desk. You have certain things you do before you start your day. You go to lunch. You make sure you do the same shit at lunch. We're creatures of habit. So if everybody falls in line and someone is not falling in line, everybody's like, yo, what the fuck is wrong with him?
Yep.
Why is he doing something than what we are normally used to doing? There's a movie called Divergent, and I don't know if y'all have ever seen the movie, but the Divergent is about there's a whole race of people that are that are under a spell, right? And there's one girl that doesn't get the thing that happened to put her under the spell. But she acts like she's under the spell because if she acts like she's woke, they'll shoot her with the stuff to make her a zombie, right? I feel like that here about comedy. If I am the one that says, I'm going to go against the grain, everybody's like, oh, I ain't fucking with that nigga.
Yeah.
He crazy. But until people see that it can be done, then they're going to think it's crazy.
Yeah. So you get to you get there to the mothership, and then you go. I think you went live, right?
I did.
You went live?
No. I just recorded.
So you were just recording.
Yeah. So what happened is I got signed up for the open mic.
Okay.
My name was on the list. I was highly excited because I was like, oh shit, all the shit that I did got them to notice me and put me on the list. So I go in there, they wand me down. I turn around, they wand me down, and when I turn back, there's 4 policemen in front of me.
What?
And they're like, please move to the side. And I move to the side, and I go, what's this about? He goes, they want you trespassed. And I said, for what? And they said, they haven't told us. I said, okay. They were like, you have any questions that you want to ask us before then? And I was like, absolutely. Why am I trespassed? They haven't told us. So I still don't know why. I have an idea. It might be the AI videos, but they didn't say that. Okay. So yet to this day, I have no idea why I'm banned from any club. They have not told me why.
They still have not told you why you're banned.
For the comments, they don't have to tell me because they're a business. And businesses don't have to tell why we don't want to work with you.
Oh, okay.
Which is fine. Okay. But it would be a courtesy so I know what I did wrong.
Yeah.
And then I can say, I'm sorry and not mean it.
So you mentioned the AI videos, that's the controversy, really, of the controversy.
I don't know because they haven't told me, but that's what I would suggest.
Yeah, people were like, hey, he's going after certain comedians, and some of the AI videos that you put out, some people felt like they were very untasteful and offensive.
It was supposed to be
I think there was
offensive.
somebody that said, hey, I fear for my life. I think
that's crazy.
That's what I hear. So can you elaborate on what's going on with these videos and what happened and so forth?
So I wanted to come up with a movie, and a little short movie called Kill Tony, where I go through all of the regulars and all of the golden ticket winners, and I off them all one by one until I get to Tony, and then I kill Tony. Simply the name of the show. That was the whole idea, and I was like, this is going to be great. Everybody's going to love it. And then the first video I did, it was like, huh. But then when I shot the second one, they were like, oh my God. And then I was like, oh shit, I got something. And then I was like, do I double down or do I stop? Everybody said stop. And I was like, when everybody says stop, it's time for you to keep going. So I just doubled and tripled down.
What? So, and one of these videos was with Jimmy, right? Jimmy No Breaks?
He called him Jimmy. That's hilarious.
Is it Johnny, Jimmy?
It's Timmy.
Timmy
and
No Breaks.
I call him. I was gonna say we, but we don't. It's Timmy Hobreaks is what I call him.
Hobreaks. Well, could you elaborate on that or what's going on there?
Okay, yeah. So let's go back to where he was not Timmy Hobreaks and he was just Tim Stifler. We went to an open mic together. There was a couple of girls that wanted to cut the line of the open mic. I thought because you have a vagina doesn't mean you get to cut the line. So I cut the vaginas. I signed my name up on the open mic list. Tim came up behind me, saw that I signed up, saw that I skipped the females, marked my name off on the list. I was pissed because I was like, who are you to mark my name off the list? I wrote my name back on the list and told him to erase it now or I'll beat your ass. And he sat the fuck down because he's a whore and a bitch. And then, let's say a couple of months later, he does all of the Timmy No Break stuff and becomes famous on Facebook and on YouTube because of Kill Tony. And I'm upstairs opening for an OG, and he's downstairs doing a sold-out show. After the show, the manager was like, go downstairs and say what's up to Timmy. He's down there. I was like, I really don't fuck with Timmy because of the situation with the writing of the thing. But there was 2 other people downstairs that I knew. So I was like, let me go down there and say what's up to him. So I said what's up to those 2 people. They were nice. But when I went to go congratulate Timmy, he was a douchebag. And I was like, why do you have to be? I don't give a fuck about this so-called quote-unquote fame. I just was this. The lady told me you was down here. That's the only reason why I came. Because if not, I wouldn't even came down here.
Yeah.
But the fact of the matter for me is that I look at it like be respectful, be nice, be helpful, right? So I went down there, said what's up, and there's a meme of like a Dotson dog that goes like, that does this weird look. That's the look that he gave me when I came down there. And I was like, you know what? Fuck you, you asshole. And then he went on a Story Wars, and this is what blew up. He went on Story Wars, and Matt McCusker, his wife is a black woman. During Story Wars, he was just making black jokes. I don't even know what the jokes he were making. Okay, I don't even know if it really happened. But Sam Tripoli went on a podcast and said, this is what happened. So I took that clip and just talked about it on my podcast, and the numbers went crazy. So being that he was making fun of a black woman, I made a response video saying this is after the Tony Hinchcliffe shit on the Kevin Hart roast. This is after like all of these racist jokes that they tell in Austin. I was like, there is going to be no more disrespect for black women in jokes in Austin. And I'm not liable for what will happen to you if you do so. Now, my mama said that sounded like I said I was going to beat somebody's ass. And I told my mama, all I said was, I'm not liable if someone else does it.
Right.
And she's like, well, you're enticing people to punch them. And I said, well, they shouldn't be making racist jokes.
Okay.
So because that happened, it blew up, and people were like, oh, you really care about black women. Why you say horror in your videos, in your stand-up? And I'm like, because it's funny, you dumbass. That's why. But that's where that came from. The hate came from him disrespecting black women, me having a relationship with him prior, and this is a chance for me to talk about the relationship that happened, and then let people know, like, as a black comic, now there's comedians that work in locations, because I don't want to say the location because they're my friends and I don't want them to get in trouble at work, but there's people that work at locations that don't like the stuff that's going on or the stuff that's being said, but they don't say anything because that's their employment. But if you're around a bunch of people making race jokes, at some point you're gonna be like, I'm cool. Can we stop? Like, I get it. Like, when I went on Kill Tony, they made it a point to try to find the stereotypical things about me. They said, do you know your dad? Yes, I do. Can you swim? Yes, I can. Are you a single dad? Do you take care of your kids? Yes, I do. Oh, shit, then you're the whitest black man ever. But if I would have said, I don't know my dad, they'd be like, nigger. And I'm supposed to sit there and say, hopefully you give me a chance to become famous, even though you make fun of me being black. I love it. Okay. I'm not for it. So when I went on the show, I made it a point. So when he asked me those questions, I'm not your stereotypical black person. You're not going to get jokes off of, oh, black people late. Oh, the smoke detector sound. That's low budget, low brow comedy, and that's the kind of comedy that they do.
Which brings me to this question, because I've had you on our Double Days podcast a couple of times, and one of the questions I think I've brought up, and I've asked this question to other comedians, is, do comedians get a pass? And what I mean by that is, do they get a pass for anything? Basically, it's wide open for them, or do you have to work your way to a certain level before you get that pass?
That's a great question. And what I will say is, from my experience, what has been happening lately, you got to be white and rich. If you're white and rich, you can say what you want. If you're black and poor, who the fuck are you to say anything? Period. And I look at it like, they're no better than me. I'm going to say how I feel. And I've said this multiple times, but I want to make this very clear. There are tons of black comics in Austin that don't like the way that you talk and the way that you treat black people, but they're afraid to say something. And because I'm willing to say it, they all message me and they say, thank you for saying it, thank you for speaking out, but they're afraid to do it in public. You know why? Because they have the slave mentality. Oh, master gonna get us if you, what you doing? Why are you stirring up the pot? Go on, why you leave? Boy, you better not be talking like that. Old master gonna get rid of your ass. And now they're getting rid of me, and they're like, see, I told you, be a good slave, listen to them.
Yeah. So Dubs, do you feel like maybe you're close to being canceled?
There's no such thing.
I mean, I know it's no such thing as cancel, right? Cancel. I guess it's more so, it's the word that everybody uses these, nowadays,
For sure.
right? But it's more of oh, hey, I'm, comedy club owner from this city.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Hey, don't get that guy over there. And then it kind of goes around, which you addressed in the beginning, right?
It's happening now.
Yeah.
So I drove to Houston, and it didn't reach there until a week later. I went to Dallas, and it didn't reach there till a week later. I'm nervous about telling where my next location is going to be because I'm afraid that it's going to reach them too, right? Like, that's why I want to go over to different cities, because they don't have the same reach in New York. They're not going to have the same reach in California. They have the pull here. Here in Austin, they kind of run Texas. If they say they're not rocking with you, everybody else will follow suit.
All right. Yeah, I think that's, I guess that's been the word out in the comedic community, right? That I've heard, and this is off camera, right? Oh, hey, Dubs is a great guy, but like you were just saying, oh, he's stirring the pot, or he's out of line, right? And maybe he should kind of fall in line and do what he's supposed to and do his thing and stop stirring the pot, right? Again, for me, all I'm doing is just interviewing people and meeting people. But I'm kind of like in this sense, you are who you are, right?
Yeah.
And so I think what people need to start understanding is, hey, this is who Dubs is, just like other people are the way they are, right? Because everybody's different. Everybody that I've had on my podcast is different. Hey, why can't we just accept what we have? And hey, you never know. Like you said, hey, are you really gonna try to cancel possibly the next Richard Pryor, the next, Kevin Hart, the next whoever, right? Mm-hmm. Are you headed that way? And it's unfortunate because, hey, you're comedians.
Yeah.
This is supposed to be funny and fun. Now it's controversy and clicks and all of that.
I think there are gatekeepers, and there have always been gatekeepers, right? But I think, so that group of people that moved to Austin, they moved because of the gatekeepers, right? They moved because they didn't want to be a part of that realm. But I think what they ended up doing was recreating the same exact thing. So they move here, they set up their own conglomerate. You got minions that are running the asylum. So you'll have a club owner that has a manager. That manager has the comedians that they like, and the comedians that they like, they allow them to pick who they want on their shows. They allow them to dictate who does and doesn't get a chance. They rotate the same comics consistently. And if there's no one that is viewing or someone that's overseeing the issues, then they're going to do whatever the fuck they want. And I'm 42. I'm not going to answer to a 21-year-old about why I should perform or why I shouldn't perform. I don't think, don't get me wrong, a 21-year-old can have some knowledge that can possibly teach me something maybe about technology or being in touch with your feelings. They can totally teach me stuff like that. But when it comes to funny or producing a show or adding value to a show, I'm not listening to no fucking kid. Yeah. And that's what the position that they put you in. If you're a comedian that comes from out of state, you'll go to a Creek in the Cave or a Sunset or even a Mothership, and you're being judged based off of what they see in you in that moment and not your overall resume, right? Now, if you come into the city and you have a credit like MTV, or you have a credit of being on somebody's movie, you get a red carpet rolled out. I have Chocolate Sundays as a credit. I have Kill Tony, Whoopity Doo. I have that as a credit. I've produced multiple sold out shows. I have credits, but those credits don't matter to those people.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it really does. And it doesn't really matter, right? I don't understand that, right? Because most comedians that we have on our show, right, or our podcast, one of the main questions is always, hey, have you been on Kill Tony?
Of course.
At this point, it's well, Well, does it matter if you're on Kill Tony or not?
It never did.
It's no different than saying, hey, have you been at LOL?
Johnny Carson.
Have you been? Yeah.
Like, don't get me wrong, that is a strong avenue, and that's kind of the reason why I moved here, was to be able to be a part of that conglomerate. But when you're not accepted, do you sit there and still wait, or do you find out your own path?
Yeah.
And I found out my own path. And people are like, how dare you choose your own path?
Yeah.
I'm like, so if you look at Apple or you look at Macintosh, I go back to Macintosh, they all created their own lane. If you didn't have Showtime, you wouldn't have HBO, and so like you need options.
Yeah.
And everybody on 6th Street or everybody in Austin is like, Kill Tony is the way to go. Yeah. Rogan is the way to go. Yeah. But they don't realize that Cap City is the chain comedy club that helps build comedians to go to that next level.
To the next level. All right. Well, hey man, we're kind of getting low on time, and so I want to. There's so much that I want to hit up on, but what are, I guess for the last couple of minutes here, what is one thing you want to get across with this here?
Stop allowing someone to dictate what your future is going to be. You are in control of your own destiny. Will there be roadblocks? Absolutely, but I think what defines individuals is how they overcome adversity, right? A lot of comedians have called me and said, you're jumping without having a safety net. And I think that when you jump with hopes that you have a parachute, you're always being cautious. Yeah. I feel like if you jump without knowing what the outcome is going to be, you know that you have to make it end well. You have to. Now, are you going to have some failures? Of course. But is it the end of the world? You learn from those mistakes and you move forward. So this is all a big mistake that I'll learn from. And I'll lie and say, I'm sorry. I apologize. But I don't. I don't feel like that. I'm glad I did it. And I do it again. Because someone needs to stand up for the comics, whether it's San Antonio, whether it's Austin, whether it's Dallas. Like, I am tired of being in fear of not being able to say how I really feel because of for somebody else's ego. Yeah. Like, you can say all, like Tony and Red Band and Rogan and all of their friends can say whatever they want and have no backlash. But little old me say something and then they ban me. They are all about cancel culture. Don't cancel me. But then they go and cancel someone in their own community. What kind of sense does that make? Tony got canceled for saying Asian jokes. Became the biggest podcaster in the world. Talked about Puerto Rico. Biggest podcaster in the world. George Floyd jokes. Biggest in the world. I do an AI video where I shoot their friends and oh my God, ban that nigga. Oh, he may shoot people. Is it because I'm black? Because I'm big? Or because it was individuals that are not really famous and they're tangible, or you can see them and they're not as big as Tony. If I would have shot Tony, they'd be like, oh, he's clout chasing. But because I shot one of the golden ticket winners that I knew was going to talk about it and that people were going to be like, oh my God, he's shooting Asian people, it's supposed to be okay.
Yeah. Well, man, we're going to try to put this video out as soon as possible.
Sure.
I mean, and, let the people know, what's going on with Dubs. And I've had other comedians actually want to do this type of format where they can come on and actually just speak their words, speak their minds about whatever's going on, in the community of comics, right? And so, man, you're the first, and hopefully not the last. Definitely want you to come back. I want to finish up because I think there's a part 2 here, man.
I do.
Because I think we want to talk about some of the other things we talked off camera, and some of the things that you're going to be working on here soon, which is
we're going to be doing a special, man. I told myself that you got to bet on yourself. Like, nobody's going to come and say, hey, Dubs, I think you're dope. Let's shoot something. So in collaboration with the Double Dave podcast and Little Dave and Big Dave, I like what you guys are doing. And I would hope that we put something together that's magical. And just be able to launch careers outside of the norm, right? Because most people are like, I need a Netflix or I need Tubi or we don't need any of that. We can create it all on our own, but we have to be able to believe in oneself and not let outside entities tell you can't do something. Because somebody's going to be like, why are you doing a special? Because I fucking can.
Yeah.
That's why. So.
Yeah. Well, hey, man, thanks a lot again, man, for
Absolutely.
coming. Definitely going to be a part 2. And
can I say one thing?
Sure. One more last thing. I'll give you the last word. How about that?
Well, before I get to the last word, I want to say, if you have a C-section, please call me. I love not the vertical one. I don't want it to look like the Alien movie. I want the one that's a horizontal. I like a horizontal C-section scar. Okay. I like to sign my name on the top like it's a check. Like that's my pussy from now on. That's what I like. Okay. But what I do want to say is that you have to believe in yourself. If no one, my mom really instilled in me that I can do whatever the fuck I put my mind to. And ever since then, I've always believed it. So a Rogan can tell me I ain't going to be shit. A Tony can be, my friends can tell me. I know what the fuck it is.
Yeah.
So believe in yourself. Make sure that you don't let nobody discourage you. And C-section scars, holla at me.
All right.